Welcome, welcome, welcome one, welcome all. First off, I'm waiting for Kitty Mckitterton to come join on in. She's got the link. She says she's oh shit. I got a little echo going on. She's jumping in right now, just got the message, so we'll just wait for her. But real quick before she jumps on in, I told you motherfuckers, I will get my lick in. I fucking told you. You talk about me day in, day out. Your chat's talking about me day in, day out. I respond to very, very little. I troll. But tonight, we're gonna lay the smackdown on some bullshit. So it's gonna be an open question and answer for her. And I've invited a couple people to definitely come in if they want. They definitely know they have the invite. So she says she's getting in. Let me see if she's in waiting. No, she's still not. Oh, shit. Anyway, I got a lot of other messages coming in too because I got other things going on. But all right. Oh shit. Oh shit. See, technical difficulties. I tell you, when you're a one-man team. So we're just sitting here waiting. But I told you I'll get you my licks. I'm gonna get my licks in. I may come slow. So I'm gonna give a hi out to everyone in chat. Mexican. Oh, you want the link? Oh, hold on. She just jumped in. Kitty Mckitterton herself in the flesh. What's going on, girl?
Hi.
Hi. So
Hi.
we're going. I think we're getting a little echo in on your end. That's okay. Just we'll work with it.
Okay.
But so you asked me to come on live tonight because we got some things we could discuss. Your brother, namely. Um, so I want to start with, we kind of covered what happened. So some people in the chat may not know there is no sexual allegations from you to and his niece. That didn't happen. So I want to very clearly cover that out from the get go. It was
Correct.
because he harassed your family and you. So there's that. And he
And
lied to
the
your mom.
anger issues and the disrespecting women.
Okay.
All
There's a
that.
lot of
So
reasons. You just don't want him
that's
around.
like, yeah, yes. But the main reason was the harassment. Uh, Probably, what was it? 4 years ago now. So that's when it was cut off.
So hold on, I gotta drop the link because MLH does want to come up, so I do want to drop the link in the chat. Is that okay if he does again? He's a really cool guy, really awesome dude. He's just better at interviewing than I am. I'm not normally an interviewer. I more
Sure.
just cover content, and he knows we can. Me and
And
MLH feed off each other.
conversationalist.
Yes, we can feed off each other.
Okay. I
This
got
link
notes
is
this time too.
so. If there's anything you feel like covering, you want to get that in there. By the way, everyone loves tattoos that I've talked to. So, but
Oh,
that link
thank
is
you.
purely for Ellie or MLH. I heard Rabbit. Do you know Down the Rabbit Hole News?
I think I heard of them. Yeah.
So she does crime, true crime, and the SBTV network. I heard she
Okay.
was also going to be paying attention. If she wants to come up and ask you a question, I hope you wouldn't mind. But she's also a straight shooter, ain't going to be doing the drama. MLH. All right. So hold on real quick just to double check. Got to be safe. So I'm going to just pull you. You'll be here, but you won't be seen. Stage.
Hey, it's me. It's me.
And what about the other one?
It's me.
That's
Oh, I pulled you guys up, so
yep. That's
but hey, I'm glad.
you got lucky, Sal. I kept telling you, email me, but because there's a lot of
You don't
people.
want to get porn bombs like.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm
What?
very well
I mean,
aware of
I
that.
don't even understand that.
Oh, you're
Well, apparently, Kitty, after your wonderful interview that you did with Boss Talks, somebody didn't want your interview to be out there. So after your interview was over, they came up and porn bombed the stream so they could get the channel reported and take it down. But we helped them save it. So all is good.
yeah.
That did happen. Yeah, that was very cool.
Right. Reasoning. Mckitterton, but yeah, go ahead, continue.
People don't seem to want to hear the truth on one side, but on the other side, everybody
Yes.
supports you, and obviously that's why so many people are here
Oh,
because they want to hear. Oh, we lost her.
let me see if
Wow.
she must.
She probably hit the X by mistake.
Yeah, if she's got the link, she's got the text link.
Well, hello, everybody in chat. I know
well,
you
hello.
missed me. It's been so long.
Ellie, I'm glad I was able to get you up here as well.
Yes.
I can at
Thanks
least
for having us.
personally apologize to you for what I did instead of just through chat. So
I
I want to
appreciate
send
that.
my apology as much as I can to you. That was my mistake.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sal, thank you for having me up here too, and thanks for the invite, man. I appreciate it. And hello, everybody in chat. I wasn't able to say hi individually to everybody. I was scarfing down food, just rushing to get back here for this because pretty important, don't y'all think?
Absolutely.
She's back at the back. Hold on.
I don't know what is up with this thing.
Are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, perfect.
Cool.
Barry, why is that interesting to you, Barry? Barry, I don't see you with a channel.
Is it slow on my end? I'm sorry. I hate this.
No.
I don't do
No, you're good.
You're fine.
streaming. So. Okay.
Allie, you wanna start? I have my own
Well, I
line.
think we can go around and ask different questions, but if anything's too personal or overwhelming, please just say that you prefer not to answer that question, because I'm sure that this is really difficult for you. And when we listen to your stream, your interview, we could hear pain too, to be honest. And I know that you've been through a lot, and I want to personally tell you how sorry I am that you and your family have gone through so much pain and so much stress. And I know something like this isn't easy at all. I'm sure you have all tried your best. And I can imagine that one thing that you had said yesterday in the beginning was that you were a victim. And I just wanted to let you know that you're a survivor. Okay. You have survived a lot. And I think it's important, just for helping with healing as well, that you realized that you are a lot stronger than you might give yourself credit for, because these YouTube streets can be vicious and nasty. And I can only imagine that when it's your own brother that starts it, how hard that must be. But I could tell that you have feared him since you were young, and I want you to know that you have, just from what I have seen, shown what a strong, remarkable person you are, what a good mother you are to want better for your children. And I just wanted you to know that we in this community look at you as a survivor, truly. And I wanted to say that first and foremost, so you understand how we look at you.
I just got word that your brother went live over mine. So this is really gonna piss him off. This already has pissed him off now.
Oh no, he went live over this?
Oh.
No.
Who would have guessed? He's gone silent for 2 days.
It's like
DOA.
everything's like choppy. Can't hear anything.
Oh,
It's
Can
like
you hear us
chopping in
now?
and out. I'm on the.
Check your settings and check the echo cancellation if you wouldn't mind, Kitty. The echo like there's a 3 dots that you can click to check the settings.
I'm so sorry.
Dang it.
yeah.
Hearing.
Hold on. Let me
Shit.
see if I can get. Hold on. Let me try something. Okay.
You bet.
You guys can go in back chat and tell her too, because the back chat and the
Oh, yeah.
private.
I really
forgot
want to be able to do that.
Because that's a good way to
And
pass.
hear everyone clearly. It always looks so easy, but
I think she might be
Okay.
roboting a little bit.
Yeah.
Test-
I hear her all right.
I hear her okay too. Do you hear us now?
yes.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Cool. Sometimes
Okay,
you
go
might
ahead.
need to cut your camera off. That might help you if you're having a bad internet connection.
I just went off the internet. I think the 5G is going to be better. So
Oh yeah, you're coming in so much better now.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
way better.
Cool. Awesome.
Cool.
Were you able to hear anything that I said, hon?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Emily, you can go next.
I actually have a question. I have several questions for you. We call him Chumley over on our channel. We call him Chumley, Mckitterton.
He's got lots of names. He's a man of many names.
Right.
So
But
I told you some of the names,
Yeah.
saying stuff. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for the purposes of this interview, I'm just going to call him Scott.
Okay.
So Scott has mentioned several times that he's a magician, right? And I've pointed out, I mean, I know a lot about magic, not because I've ever tried to become a magician, but because I admire people like Penn and Teller. Their mentor was a guy named James Randi, and I read a book of his called The Good Liar. And in that book,
Okay.
he explains that magicians always lie to their audience, but they're honest about it. The Honest Liar, I think, is the name of that book. Yeah, I could be wrong on the name, but it's a really good book. And I always say to my audience that at some point Scott took. There's 2 paths when it comes to being a magician. There is the path of becoming a con artist, and
Mm-hmm.
the path of becoming a magician, right?
Okay.
And everybody that goes down that road, first of all, it's a hard road for them because magicians are always kind of shunned by people in general, right? And I've
Mm-hmm.
always made the point that he took the road of the con because it's easier, and he found the path of less resistance that way, and he took it based on his own actions, by the actions that he's done to others. We have, I mean, there's a list of survivors. I mean, and it's almost 100 strong. As a matter of fact, I think it's over 100 at this point. My question to you is, first of all, do you agree with that assessment that there was a fork in the road at some point in his life? And secondly, do you think that he really, do you think there's any path of redemption for your brother?
I always believe in the path of redemption. We hope for it because hope is the pillar that holds this world up and everything. So, um, yes, that is why I'm thinking that maybe him being able to be in a scheduled institute will help him maybe have the time to um, get off the internet get off of YouTube, and get off of all the social media to really kind of like self-reflect. So first and foremost, that is my hope for him, to, and I've seen it. I've seen people have very difficult upbringings, done bad things because they were brought up bad, and have been able to redeem themselves later in life. My hope is that he would go live on a farm because he had wanted to do that for so long. Live off grid in nature and be self-sufficient is my
Right.
main thing, especially at this age. Like, I'm the baby of the family. He's the oldest. I would hope that. I think circumstances and his own choices have led him to take, the easiest path. Honestly, he's always kind of been lazy. He'll work, yes, but I think he found a way to not have to work. Like, you know, and because for a while he was just driving around looking at like different natural waterfalls, and like he was very into like mounds for a while and stuff, and he was doing that and just recording himself all the time. But I think
Right.
once he got into the hot topics again, like this, like, I'm going to say something that's really going to offend people or really going to get them like talking. That's when he was like, oh, I'm getting like a reaction from this. Like, I am going to do this and everything because he wants that reaction,
Sure. Sure.
Um, yeah. And I think just different things that happen, like he was going to buy land where was it? In like California or something. And he like put a down payment on it, and the guy like screwed him over. So he like lost the money and he never had the land. So it's just like that. Like, it's like, I don't know. This
Can you point to anything like maybe in his childhood where because you had mentioned on your interview on Boss Talks, you had mentioned that when you were younger, there was, I
Mhm.
believe, a hole in your either in your wall or your drawer, and you didn't expand on that, and I won't ask you to expand on that because it sounds kind of traumatic, but is there some point in your childhood with him that you can point to and say, this might have been that turning point for him where he may have taken the wrong path in life?
um I've talked to my mom about this at times and everything. She really doesn't even like to talk about him nowadays, but um again, really good childhood, middle class, white suburban neighborhood, really fun, like big yard to play in and everything. But, in high school, when everything's changing, and for men, I read a lot of books, I love psychology and everything. At the age of 18, mental illnesses can like start appearing, and like he was just very violent. He was just very angry, like all the time. Like, I remember waking up and like you had to get out of his way if he was coming down the hallway. Like, you know, and that's when I'm discovering myself. We're all kind of doing our own thing. But I remember like seeing other friends, brothers or something who were kind and like gentle and like cared for their
Mhm.
siblings and stuff. And that never happened with Scott. Like, I think at the age of 18, it really went in a different
Yeah,
direction
yeah.
where, uh, and then it just kind of, I mean, there are pinpoints like him
Mhm.
living in that house in St. Charles, him getting arrested for the weed, um, him spinning the story for that. Like, it's just hilarious. So it started really kind of
Did
spiraling after that.
yeah,
Then,
did
I remember seeing him on Facebook, and it was a whole like,
Emily,
uh,
hold on.
oh,
sure.
go
Wait,
ahead.
I do have kind of a question. I kind of want to spring on that. How did he treat your girlfriends? Like, all know Scott doesn't treat women the best. He actually
Yeah.
women the most. So your girlfriends, when he was in college and high school, because I don't say we were all jerks when we were kids, but how did you treat your personal friends, women mainly?
He did not talk to my friends. I mean, I can't say this because it's my sister's story, but there's a lot of
Okay,
history. Yeah. Him, it's not good. And like brothers don't do that to their sister's friends. So
Yeah.
that's all I'm going to say. It's not my
okay.
story to tell, but man, it was
But there's a
drama
story there.
and what the fuck, you know? So yeah.
I do
But
have a question. I'm sorry, Saul.
no, you're good. You're good. You're totally good.
And then I have a question.
Real quick
Oh,
question.
so okay.
Um, about he had mentioned, because you mentioned high school. Did he
Hmm.
play football in high school or in college
He
at all?
did.
He did play
Yeah.
football. Okay. That's
Yeah.
that's one thing I was wondering, because the lacrosse was brought up. Do you happen to know what position he played in football in high school or in college?
He only played in high school. He played
Okay.
lacrosse at his college. Oh God, I can't remember. Linebacker, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Was
Okay.
he in a fraternity in college?
Yes, he was. Hmm.
He was. Okay. Now I do another question, and again, you don't have to answer this if it's too personal, but I noticed that you mentioned, and not that I even necessarily, disagree, but you brought up mental health and how, things can happen as you get older, and different diagnoses can happen. Has he ever been diagnosed with any type of an illness or been tested for it, or has he refused all of that altogether?
He's refused all of them.
Mm.
He's
So
never been
he's never
tested
looked into it.
because
Okay.
he doesn't think, again, he doesn't think anything is wrong. I again talked to my mom. My mom's like, something's not right in the brain. Um, my personal, do you want my personal from what I've seen? And
Sure.
like, either, narcissistic personality disorder, studied that a lot for real. Bipolar for the manic and depression. Um, yeah, and just a cognitive dissonance because it's just, yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is what I've seen. I'm not,
Now, was he bullied when he was in school, or
Was
did
he
he
the bully?
or did he socially get okay with everybody, or do you think he was more of a bully?
I think he socially got okay with people. He was like semi popular, I would say. But then, like, when he went down, so again, when he went down to Florida to work on my uncle's house that my mom, like, that was like his inheritance, right? And again, he had some friends from like high school, friends that we like grew up with because our neighborhood was very close. Like, we all, would play together. There'd be like 16 kids running around and everything. So he had a lot of childhood friends. Went down there and just got into it with them. Like, he went down with some friends from the neighborhood, and just that's where I don't know what happened, but I do remember vaguely because I'm like, I'm 2 years younger than him. So the battery, the assault, I think it was he got in a fight with the friends, and like, and then slowly but surely lost because of the Facebook postings about all the conspiracies and everything. Lost a lot of his longtime friends. Now, this is at probably like, he's probably like 23, 24 at this point. Okay.
Are you
So
meaning
now
are you
this
meaning like the
starts.
Holocaust denying and those kind of conspiracies, or what kind of
Oh,
conspiracies do
yeah.
you?
All of that. Like,
Okay.
oh God, I'm trying to remember
The flat
that
earth.
the flat earth, that giants roam the earth. And yeah, the big tree trunks are like the giants' legs.
Wait, the tree trunks are the giant's legs.
Yes.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
heard that theory. That's the petrified giant theory. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. That part's new. Now,
Woohoo!
Yeah.
I was under the understanding of listening to his story
Mhm.
that he graduated college, had a successful business, sold everything because he just decided that he didn't want to work. His goal was to explore, but he
Mhm.
threw away his college degree and his house that he owned and his business that he got rid of so he could um, you know like I said, be kind of like a nomad. But then when I was listening to your story, you were saying that he didn't graduate college, and then we had learned that he defaulted on the business, and there was judgments in which came out that he had no intentions on paying back. So I'm trying to figure out, when you were growing up, was he always somebody that you found to be a liar or say things for attention or wanting to bring attention, or did that happen after his college days?
I mean, no, I believe it started. Let's start in high school. I think that's when it all kind of uh he just got in so much trouble that as a
Did he ever
third
have any
child,
head
I'm like,
injuries through
"Hmm?"
football? Did he ever have any head injuries through football or anything that might have contributed to any of that?
No, but mental illness, it really like appears at men, especially at the age of 18 and everything. It'll start like, you got the hormones. He had started doing drugs and everything. Like it was just, your brain's not fully developed. Like your brain's not fully
Right.
developed for a male until 28 years old. So if you're messing with your brain's development for that whole time, you're not going to come out right. Things that he does and says for the last 20 years, a sane person's not going to do. And I don't know why all these people are defending him on the internet and being like, it's just it's interesting to me. It's like a case study for me because I was like, a sane, stable person is not going to do or say or act this way. So whatever he has, whenever it developed, something's wrong. You know?
Like there was a growth stop at some point.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let me add to that.
Mentally stop developing.
Yeah. He is often okay. So this kind of buttresses that point. He has often said that all of the victims are lying, right? All the survivors are lying about what happened to them, and that he's telling the truth. Everybody else is lying, and like I said earlier, that list has grown to well over 100 at this point.
Mhm.
So my question to you is, first of all, were you aware of how many people that he has
Victimized.
victimized? And second of all, do you believe that all of those victims are lying about what happened to them?
So first, I know he has hurt many, many people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's just his MO. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Second, do I believe? Yeah, I believe everyone that says that they got hurt by him. I 100% believe. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's very clear that he has stolen, lied, swindled, cheated.
His
Just
own family.
again,
So
what?
of course he would, his own family. He's done that too. So of course he would do it to others. I mean, it would just be easy for him at that point, in my opinion.
You just see it as over time, you see, if we're talking about a character of a person, he has proven himself time and time again that this is what he does. So
Mhm.
it's interesting for me to say when I see people like, oh, he's a liar. Oh, I'm like, yes, he has proven that way back, and I think I really started again following back again when he went to LA and all that stuff happened. I wish I could have, but they were like, people warned them. Some people did warn them that this guy is up to no good. Like,
Yeah.
but sometimes you just got to live and learn. So,
I
yeah, but he has
yeah.
proven himself to be the liar, the manipulator, because I think it really stems, that's the narcissistic personality disorder. You are out for yourself, you're
Mhm.
going to blame everyone, and that's it, because you're playing people, you're
Yeah,
manipulating people,
Have you ever seen him truly be remorseful for anything?
I've heard of it from my mother. I have not seen it, because I believe to be remorseful means you're not going to do it again. And
mm,
I'm just like, you do
Fair.
it again.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it was really sad, and I was really glad to hear the truth about the things that he has said about your mother. You know, being an alcoholic and mistreating
Yeah.
him, and when he was younger, drugging him to keep him quiet. Um, I, I,
I mean,
I,
but would you blame her? Would you blame her if she did do that? Because I was like, I would judge myself for not having to hear him
Rude.
go on. Like, but no, she did not do that. Where is he coming up with this shit? Like, oh my
I
God.
don't know, but he has doubled and tripled down on that many times on what an alcoholic she's been, and how terrible. That's why he
What
hates
drugs was she
alcohol. And
giving him?
I don't think he was specific with that, or I don't recall, to be honest, if he said what they were. But I found the story, even when I heard it, I could have believed the alcoholism, because that does happen, but
Mhm.
I had a hard time believing when it went as far as to say that she drugged her child so he would, be quiet, kind of stay out of the way, kind of thing. I thought that was an overreach. And
Yeah.
I was also curious because apparently rumor on the streets is that I started this rumor, in
Okay.
which I just wanted to clear it up, that it was something that you said. And we did a panel on MLH's thing today on a reaction to the things that you have said in your interview. Um,
Okay.
what was the deal with him selling stuffed animals, and selling stuffed animals targets, um, in my opinion, children. And I was very clear to everybody that you were not implying in any way that he was a pedo or a chomo, but that there was some tendencies that you saw that kind of looked odd, especially since he didn't have children. So, number one, just to clarify for the YouTube world, that when we were discussing that earlier this morning, that you had made the comment about him selling stuffed animals. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And did he think that that was going to be a moneymaker? And why would you want to sell something that was geared towards children if well, we know now that he doesn't have a college degree, but his skill set was in being able to, what he said, he built a house from the ground up. So he would know electrical, plumbing, contracting, codes, things like that. How do you go from that to selling stuffed animals, or at what point did the stuffed animals come into play?
I should have elaborate. I mean, it was a bunch of stuff. What on eBay? Like, he was buying things from thrift stores and flipping them. So, okay, stuffed animals, plates, shoes, different like knickknacks, like tea sets and everything. When I had comment on the Facebook post, the stuffed animals just stood out to me. So that's what I just wanted to
Mm,
drive home, because I just wanted to kind of put him in his place a little bit, which is fine.
So
I think everyone needs it. A
I
couple,
want to go to one of chat's questions real quick. Sorry to interrupt, but
Okay,
how
go
is
ahead.
your mom handling all of his behavior? I think that's something. She is also a victim. That I mean, I wish she had her say. But what could you say on her behalf and how she's handling the situation of Scott?
Um, I will say from my experience, because I don't want to talk, but it has been, she has suffered depression, anxiety. Um, she's like, I'm sick to my stomach over this. I mean, we really have to go like back and forth and have very serious discussions because my kids are involved in her life. Scott was there. You know, it has been very, very stressful, very traumatic for my mother, for me, navigating around Scott's issues and his choices in life, which again is not fair. Like, think about that. Like, you know, because my mom keeps saying that's my son and everything. And I was like, that's true. But I was like, he's also an adult at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I have my
Mhm.
children to think about. And it has been very difficult to, um, you know, I will send her before. And it's very difficult for me because I was like, I'm in between a rock and a hard place. I was like, I want my mom to see my kids, but I want to protect my kids. But Scott would come and visit and be in their basement making videos. That's how people knew where he was at. Like, and then not that long ago when he was in Chicago, when he had the onesie and he was like, I'm getting like what a served for wearing a onesie and everything. So he went to my mom's house for 3 days. For 3 days, okay? And he was served with a restraining order in those 3 days. Now I have to send my kids there. I'm like, no, 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 no. This is just so incredibly difficult.
Mm-hmm.
My mom does not want to talk about him. She would become very upset. We just had a big party for her with a bunch of her friends. Me and my sister put it on. It was amazing. It was fantastic. But she kept calling me. She's like, don't mention Scott. Don't talk about him. Like, we're not allowed to, like,
Wow.
because she has so much emotional distress over it that it's, I mean, really, put yourself in her situation.
I
You
can
know,
only imagine.
I can
you
only
can only imagine. So I was like,
As a parent myself, that would be so difficult. So my heart goes
yeah.
out to her.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Uh, Not to get too far off track, but there was a question that was really interesting. Scott has on several occasions bragged about his money, his assets. I remember hearing him at one point say something about selling homes. Now I've gone down a few rabbit holes, and
Yeah.
so have others, and I think I know the answer to this. Has he ever sold homes? And does he have a lot of assets? In other words, what I'm getting at
You mean
is
selling homes isn't flipping? He would flip houses,
he
he
would
said.
flip houses.
Mhm,
Are
mhm.
you aware of that? And if so, like, does he really have money behind him, or is he just blowing smoke?
He's blowing smoke about the money behind him because he has continuously asked mommy for money. But he would flip homes with my dad. They would go in on the contract together because he doesn't have any, you know, he really
That's
didn't work a stable job to be able to sign on a mortgage for a house.
Mhm,
So my dad would, and him and my dad would work together
mhm.
to flip a house. Uh, it just wasn't really.
So he was more of like your dad's right-hand person than the actual person at the head of doing whatever
Like
contract.
an apprentice
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
under him.
Yeah, they were just, you know, my dad had high hopes. He was like, oh, okay, let's do this because he does do electric and plumbing and stuff. Again, he worked on our properties in the city. Um, we actually had to go back and get it redone because he didn't do it correctly, everything. So, but he can remodel. Great. That's a skill that he can work with. He chooses not to. He can remodel the bathrooms. He helped with my husband. Again, my husband was working with him a lot to remodel different floors of like we have the garden apartment and then we have like a third, so he is able to. He might not do it completely up to code, but he is able to. But no, I don't think he has ever signed on a house on his own and then flipped it on his own. He would sign with my dad or with another person. Because even in that house in Florida that he inherited from my uncle, yeah, he flipped it, and then it's just so funny because my mom was always like, he's like a drunken sailor with money, or like a hole burning through his pocket. He's not good with money. There's no savings. He bought a van and a watch, and that's it from the house in Florida. Like,
Yeah.
okay, what else? There's no financial responsibility, as with most of our things in life, of future,
Yeah.
things.
I know. Now I know that this. I know that you posted and you spoke briefly on this, but I know that chats have been a buzz about this. So I just kind of wanted to clear it up. Did your family ever have any fear that somebody was going to come and eat Jazzy, your family cat? And is it true that your mom, because of fear, had to stop walking Jazzy on a leash because Jazzy is leash trained and she would walk Jazzy outside, but because of the fear of the internet and somebody going to supposedly eat Jazzy, that had to stop and broke your mother's heart? Is any of that true?
No.
So Jazzy's not leash trained?
No, she's like, no.
Jazzy not put that cat on a leash. No, that cat walks free. She will walk with my mom though. Yeah.
But never leashed.
Will my mom stop walking with? No. My mom's like, I'm not gonna live in fear, And that's why I was like, this guy's going on and on about it. I was like, can you see my eye roll? Hold on. Okay. Like, drop it, dude. Like, you did this. Shut up about it. Like, they're just living their best life out there. My mom doesn't care. My mom has nothing. She's like not involved with us at all. Like, she's like, I'm not going to live in fear. I think my brother brought it up. I brought it up. She's like, okay, but no, Jesse's fabulous. She just walks. She's not out. We always grew up with indoor cats. Like, that cat is walking free. No leash.
No leash. Never leash. And no fear that somebody was coming to hurt your mom or to hurt Jazzy in any way.
Yeah.
Doss has a question that I want to also springboard off of real quick. Do you have an uncle or uncles that are mentally challenged, if you're willing to answer?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so that is a true statement then.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, and mental illness can be hereditary, unfortunately, as well. So
that's what I was thinking, and my one uncle, it was a birth defect, and then my other uncle, I think, was developed, unfortunately. So yeah. So that could be hereditary because that was on the one side of the family. So.
Earlier you mentioned something about an RO being served at your mom's house. What I was gonna say, are you kind of aware of how many ROs that he's had, or?
And was that
my
RO
husband
from
looked it up one
you?
time.
Or was that RO from you or from somebody else that he was
That
served?
was from someone else.
Okay.
He deleted all the videos and stuff, so I don't know anymore. But it was from a woman, I think, that lived out in that area too. So yeah,
And
they
yeah,
were able. They serve it to my mom's house. That's the thing. It was like
yeah,
that's his last known address because he came in to get his license renewed,
yeah.
and I was like,
Jalen in chat said it was from her and her husband Matt, who um he had caused problems for Matt in the armed services, cost him a promotion.
No, he actually got Matt to lose his job. He used to go to their house at
mhm.
Christmas to
Oh
start
yeah,
with them, and they did get a restraining order, but then the restraining order, just so you know, was not renewed because your brother brought up they threatened to eat my cat. And so now
again,
he's
it is not
using.
his cat. Can I make that 100%
We
clear?
understand. We absolutely
No,
understand.
we
But
get it.
I'm saying sometimes he says his cat, sometimes he says his family's cat. He's using that in these proceedings as well
Yes.
about Jazzy.
Mhm.
Nobody, I assure you, people will joke around with him and mess with him because it's kind of like that tit for tat. He starts when he wants to call people nasty names.
Yeah.
They come up with funny jokes about Jazzy, but
Agreed.
absolutely nobody wants to hurt Jazzy at all. Nobody would eat a cat, for the love of God. It just would never happen. I assure you of that. Um,
I understand that. Like I'm in, but yeah, I can't believe that held up in court.
yeah,
He should
and
have
he
had that
plans on
restraining
using it.
order. That restraining order should have gone through for those poor people in Indiana.
that's
Yeah.
Jalen and Matt.
And I think they're going to try to see if they can go back and get one again or anything.
Yes.
Especially understanding now that you're saying, nope, the family was never worried. Nobody threatened to eat the cat. Nobody came to my mom's house and said, hey, we're going to do this to your mom or anything else. So I think that was important. And listen, we really all did try to help your brother in our way. We tried to, call him out when he needed to be,
Yeah.
in fairness, but not participate in supporting the bad behavior that he has.
Mhm.
Most of the people that are doing that are the ones that are financially backing him at this point. When you see 400 or 500 people in his chat, as far as viewing, I assure you, out of that 500, 470 of them are people that are just trolling to watch.
Hate watching.
At this
They're
point,
just hate watching.
they want to watch the train wreck at this point. I was at that point, but I think most of us now are, well, maybe if he goes to jail, that is the only accountability and justice that a lot of us will see, and maybe there will be forced to face getting help with.
Mhm.
Do you think that because he has a fear of being in a cage, that when the sentencing comes and if he be found guilty, that at that point he might hit his low enough to then seek help, or do you think that won't even help at that point?
I mean, that's hard to say. I'm not him. He only knows his low, so
Yeah,
he's the
that's
only
gonna
one
be.
that is able to seek help. I can talk to my mouth, my face is blue about how he should seek medical help, but it's up to him. So, yeah.
Speaking of animals, this is a question that I've always wondered. First of all, did you guys grow up with animals? And if so, how did he treat those animals?
Yeah, we grew up with animals. We grew up with cats mostly. So, uh, good. Yeah. I mean, I had my cat. That was my cat, and she didn't really go anywhere else. There was another cat that my sister and my brother took care of and everything. Uh, I don't want to talk about that though. So
Okay, that's fine. Did he have any responsibilities or chores or anything growing up, or was it that not that kind of situation because he was, in a different generation and he was a guy and it was more like go do your sports kind of thing?
no, he did. I mean, we all like kind of helped out at the house. My mom, again, just it was a good upbringing. We just, but at some point, I think, at the teenage years, it came about, and I don't think my parents knew how because he was out of control. And my mom was working and my dad was working and stuff, and you can only do so much. And I see now, how hard it is raising kids. And they had 3 of us. I only have 2. And I was like, oh my gosh. But um, yeah, and he would just get into a lot of trouble. And I think they just kind of, what does someone say? I talked to someone about it. They're like, did he always get what he wanted, or he got away with a lot of things? So I was like, yes. And he's like, he still is. And I was like, oh, yeah, he is. Yeah.
Now, is your dad in the same, and I'm sure it's hard for him too, but where is he? Because I know for your mom, she gave birth, and as a parent myself, I know how traumatic that is. But is your dad a little more on wanting an open communication and talking to him, or is he kind of like, listen, he's got to learn this process on his own. There's not a lot we can do at this point.
My dad doesn't say anything about it, honestly.
Because according to
I don't know.
Scott, he talks to your parents all the time, like on the regular.
Maybe.
And that
but
your dad goes into his YouTube chats, apparently. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but apparently
No,
he said that he's
my
been
dad
in
doesn't
there.
know. No, my dad doesn't know how to do that. I remember my dad saying, he's like, Scott asked me to like watch one of his YouTube videos, and he was like, oh God, it was just like so long of just him like driving around and talking. My dad's like, I don't want to do that. So
he's never gone in and watched it and communicated in his chat ever?
we don't know 100%, but I'm thinking no. My dad looks at cabooses online. That's what he does. He looks at trains and cabooses, and that's his thing. And then he goes like and looks for cabooses out in the. So I'm barely able to do this. My dad's not able to do this. So yeah.
Okay. I was just curious.
Mhm.
Do you want to take another chat question too, Saul? So we're
I
fair
can grab
with chat.
another chat question because there is a couple. Let me see. You got to go up and find one. Have you? Oh, I asked. Have you had any contact with Laura, his ex-girlfriend now, or do you even know of Laura FM?
I do. Yeah. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. I'm sorry. I had a correction from the boss talk and everything. I kept saying that I did the interview with Audit.
Yes,
But it's
we knew you
Streets Outlet.
meant. Yeah, we knew that.
Okay,
Audit
I
Street Outlet.
wanted to put that out there. I got confused between the two of them for some reason because they both had LA. But yes, it was Streets, and not Audit. So I wanted to put that out there and everything. What was the question?
Which questions did you read, Saul?
The question I read. Go back again. Have you had any contact with Laura? Or
no. I just, so what I want to see what Streets afterwards, the interview, because he was like, oh, she has like much love for Laura and everything. And I was like, no, not really. All I said was like, oh, I understand because Scott called her a dumb bitch. And I was like, Scott called me a dumb bitch too. So I was
he
like,
called her a
we
lot
have that
worse
in
now.
common. Like, but other than that,
He's called her a lot.
What?
He's called her a lot worse now.
Yes. Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I followed that relationship. That was going to burn out real quick. Again, he cannot have and maintain a relationship, but all he had was a dumb bitch comment. So,
do you think he really wanted to have a child?
Oh
Because
God,
he
no,
made
he
that
cannot
comment.
procreate. No, 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 no.
Oh, he cannot, or you just don't think he wants to?
He should not. Let me reiterate. He should not
Okay.
procreate. Like, yeah. No, I think
Somebody
he
had
was just talking about his butt. So
Yeah.
somebody had a
So
question about and I forget where it was, but they wanted to know if it is true that something about your mom supposedly this is what it is, face smeared in the snow by your mom to Scott, like he has many times said before.
no, can we just?
No,
I,
okay.
no.
We just, because we want to defend your mom, and the thing is,
Yeah.
he's saying different things, so that's why we're trying to make it clear that
we're,
your mom was not anything of what he's saying.
besides
Because
the
that's what
word
No,
Measurement
I
impression.
know
says.
they would get into arguments. I know that my brother would. I'm gonna. How do I say this? Um, my brother is to blame. My mom was defending herself. Okay, so my brother was a big guy in high school, and my mom was 5'4" and little. And if someone's coming at you aggressively, you will have to defend yourself. Like, again, I want to make there are two. There's our childhood, and then there are the teen years. They're
Mhm.
very different experiences. Uh, my brother was very angry and very aggressive and very scary.
In the teen
So
years, you're saying this happened in the teen years, not the
yes, yes,
childhood years, like
no,
like
no, 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 no.
16 and over kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, wow,
Um,
heartbreaking.
I,
Um.
I, I have a question that's been on a lot of people's minds, and several people that have met him personally have said this. And I only ask because a lot of people pile on your brother about his hygiene. Um, did he did he have good hygiene growing up? Because a lot of people have complained about the way that he smells. Literally, did he have any medical conditions that would require like some type of treatment that would cause him to, I don't know, smell really bad or anything like that?
I mean, I think he has diabetes.
Okay.
I think he talked to my mom about that. So if jail doesn't get him, the diet's going to. But uh,
And after that, I got one more question on my part, and then
okay.
I'm done.
Hey, I got a question real quick. Dad keeps asking, but it makes very good sense for court. The fam. Do you want him to stop talking about Jazzy, Scott? Do you want Scott to stop? Does you and your family
Yes.
just want?
Yes. I'm the only one that my sister. She doesn't. She's not involved. Like, that's good. I'm glad. Like, she's like, oh, I'm not gonna get involved. My mom is only hearing what Scott's telling her. She's not on any of social media. She's not on any of this and stuff. So it's whatever Scott's telling her. I will try to like counter it sometimes, but she will not watch any of the videos I send her. She will not. I'm like, dude, Scott's not doing good. Like, he's, and I would send her like the one, especially with the ones where he's calling women the hussies, and that older woman that was like in the parking lot, and he's like, fuck you, cunt. Like, well, like, what the fuck is that? Like, that's mind boggling that that's your son, but she won't watch it. Like, she's like, I cannot watch, like, so She
I can
stepped up.
imagine it's
So
hard.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
jazzy thing, like, I don't know why it's an issue. Dude, just drop it. Fucking drop it. It's just
Yeah.
hilarious. Yeah.
Now,
So
somebody in chat asked, is it true that your brother was either being trained or was trained to be a missionary?
No, he wasn't.
No. Okay.
my final question. So you mentioned drug use earlier, and I found it interesting. We on Disaster Piece Theater quite often make fun of him for quote unquote boofing, which is the act of taking a funnel up your rectum and pouring, various drugs out.
Emily, oh my God, I can't believe you're asking her this.
Hold on, Ellie. Let me ask the questions. My final.
I'm so sorry, honey.
No.
All right. Okay. So after we did that, he he very quickly got on a live. I think he went live at the same time in real time, and he talked about. So basically, he admitted to boofing, quote unquote boofing, and very specifically, he mentioned ketamine. Now, I am
He
familiar
mentioned
with
what? Wait, he mentioned what?
ketamine, the drug ketamine.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm only familiar with ketamine because of a certain incident that happened here in the Denver metro area where a person was given ketamine by firefighters. He was later choked out, died. It was a big thing. So that's how I became familiar. But it was a very specific reference. So can you think back to when you were talking about him using drugs? Was it more than just weed, like he always says?
She's hiding her face. I feel so embarrassed for her that you
Yeah.
asked this question
No.
about boofing. I
This
am
is
sorry.
not a surprise to me. Um, I don't know if I can comment on that, but
She's saying there's truth to it. She just doesn't
Okay.
want to verbally say it.
I get you, and I do apologize for the question.
no. That's
I only bring it up because he confirmed it, and he was very specific, even though we didn't mention any type. I mean, we did it in generality, right? Like we would say things in generalities, and he very specifically mentioned ketamine is why I asked.
I mean, I don't know if one point in my life I would be able to name everything, but yeah, no, that's not a surprise to me. And it's not embarrassing to me because I know many other things and stuff. So that tracks. Yeah. Okay.
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 I get it.
Here's another question.
Hit it.
Have you, through the Reddits or what you've seen on the YouTube streets or through Daws's channel, who absolutely loves you and appreciates you shouting at her channel?
She's my favorite. Every time if I go on and I see a dot on my subscriptions and it's her, I'm like, yes, please.
There you go, Doss. Shout out, Doss.
Yeah, and she is amazing and has put in some work, so we don't have to necessarily watch his stream.
Yes,
and give him the
that's
view
why I was
for
like,
it.
I can't do it anymore. I'm only going to watch hers because I don't want to watch his 3 hours of bullshit and stuff. So
A lot of us have done that. Now, are you familiar with Mexican Longhair, who's the gentleman that's above you? That's also talking. He has a channel. His channel's Mexican Longhair.
I linked it in the chat, by the way.
What he did is he created a safe space for the survivors of Scott that have been abused throughout the years. And he has what we call disaster piece theater, in which we portray the words of wisdom on things that he has said that we take directly from his stream.
Okay.
We do have some commercials starring your brother, all comedy and parodies to try to, it started out to try to get him to be aware of exactly what he was doing. and how many people that he's hurt. It is a beautiful group of people, those same people that are in this very chat, who I'm receiving text messages from as we speak to say how brave they think you are,
Oh.
and how much they truly love you and your family, and feel extremely bad for what you're going through. But I think you might be interested in checking out some of those for some comedy relief, because I know that it has helped me. And what we do is we read something he said, something stupid that he said, and we might do it in an accent and add a few words to it or something like that. But we'll make up our special, we have somebody on panel that makes up special commercials, somebody that makes up special songs for him. So you're welcome to join that at any time, come in and chat, join panel. I know somebody else is texting me with, I don't know what their question is. Oh, something about, are you aware that your brother has threatened to press charges on a 6-year-old for ruining his pool noodle?
For ruining what?
His pool noodle. Your brother had a pool noodle, and the 6-year-old got a hold of it, and your brother left, and apparently he hit it or something, and your brother was really upset, and I guess he might have damaged it, the 6-year-old, and your brother had made claims about pressing charges against the 6-year-old.
Well, he's
And
actually going
again,
to sue all of us.
is that words or actions by a sane person who has not done so many drugs that the brain cells aren't like fully functioning?
No, they have not. It was their son that they're kind of, I guess, is a little concerned on if it's a fear they would have to worry about, since it's been put out there that, the son's going to be charged, they're going to press charges and stuff like that. If that's something you think he would really even follow through. I
No.
don't think so, just
Well, the
because he's
law is not
threatened to
going to
sue
follow through.
everybody.
The law is not. They're going to look at that charge or that lawsuit and go, no, we're not suing a 6-year-old child for a $6 pool noodle. I
Well,
mean,
he's actually threatened to sue a lot of people. I'm sure I'm near the top of that list of people that he wants to sue. Maybe that's what it is. It's projection, things that people that he wants to sue that have quote unquote wronged him. I don't know, but yeah, he's threatened
And that brings us to the question, though. Do you think a lot of this reaction that he does is because he wants to get a lawsuit, thinking that there might be some easy money someplace, or?
No, I think it's a lot of talk.
Okay.
I think it's a lot of like, really, he doesn't have the money to be able, like, that's ridiculous. Like,
well,
why
he
would we?
like you said last night, the lawyer who is how'd you say that last night? If you're your own lawyer,
So I went to court when he was in LA, or when I was in LA, for one of the hearings, whatever. It was a continuance, and you know, uh, it was very interesting. But so my brother was like, "I'm going to represent myself," and the judge was like, "I don't know. Like, we got like a public defense attorney that's like very has experience and knows this and everything," and the judge was really pleading with him, like, "You don't, like, this is not a good idea," and everything. And he was like, "Oh, a man who represents himself has a fool for a client."
yeah.
And so Scott went out and talked to the attorney, the public defender, the public defender, and then dropped her, whatever, and then came back and he was like, "I guess I'm a fool." And I was like, "That's right."
Yeah.
Now that begs it, because people were saying that it wasn't true that you were there at any hearing, and I absolutely believe you because I know what was reported that happened.
Yeah.
Did Scott see you at this hearing? Does he know you were there?
I don't know how he couldn't know I was there. I came in a bright red sweater, a big blue dress, I went in, um, yeah, on the.
Because he never mentioned you being there at all.
I
And
know,
obviously nobody
I
knew
know.
you. And so
Mhm.
some people are saying that that's a lie, that you were never there. And I'm like, wait a minute. I listened to your details about about the judge imploring him to have counsel. And that's what was reported by him and others that were there. So I'm like, how would she know all of that they went into the hallway and specific details? So I'm like, it's maybe Scott didn't see her. Let me ask.
Okay, so
Did
again,
he see
Scott's a
you?
liar. Like, and if it's so funny, like it's like if Scott said it doesn't happen, people are like, yeah, it didn't happen. I was like, no, I was there. Like, but I was like, I'm not gonna. I don't video myself 24 hours. I don't take like I went. I got a car from an aunt, and I drove downtown, and I found the courthouse, and I was texting Saul along the way. I was like, "Where's this at? Like, what courthouse? Like, where it's at?" And I was nervous, and I went in, and I like kind of snuck in, and I sat down, and he was sitting in the back, him and Josiah, and he had like khaki pants. He had the ankle monitor on, and he had like a whatever.
Okay, so
I
it was
never
for the
made
felonies
I never made
hearing.
eye contact with him because I was like, I was nervous. I was very nervous.
Yeah.
I was sitting there, so he went up, and then when he went out to talk to the public defender, I turned to this man next to me. I was like, "Hey, like, is he coming back soon? Like, I don't know, because I only wanted to be there for like an hour because then we were going to go to the beach or something." And I was like, "Is he coming back soon?" And he's like, "Yeah, he'll be right back." And he's like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm his sister." And he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for that." And I was like, "Yeah, I get it." So it ended up being the lawyer, Moxon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I got a
You talked
start.
to him?
What?
You talked to Moxon.
Yes. Not knowing who he was. I was like, it was just this old dude sitting next to me and stuff. And I was like, "Hey." And he was like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "I'm his sister." And he's like, "I'm sorry to hear that." I was like, "Yeah." And we
So
just,
the internet's going to be a buzz about this, and I'm sorry to interrupt that, but since you talked to Moxon, and according to your brother, that is like a death sentence. So let's just clear this up. Are you a Scientologist?
Are you
no,
working with OSA?
no,
Yeah. You're not OSA.
no,
You're not being paid by Scientology because the
no.
rumors are going to fly, and I want to
Oh,
put a
let them
bosh to
fly.
that
It
now.
was also some things just randomly happened that I was sitting there. I sat next to this guy, and he happened to be Moxon.
Yeah.
But you had no clue before you sat down. You've never been in Scientology, never considered Scientology,
No.
not there. You're just there to watch the proceedings and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that can that be believed? Can people believe?
Oh, I absolutely believe you because he's accused other people of that in
I
there,
believe
that
you.
they were connected with a Scientology and talking to Moxon and how that's like a big no-no. And the minute you said that name Moxon,
Yeah.
how would you know who that was
Yeah.
after speaking to him and finding out? So chat, please make sure that those rumors are not spread because they're coming.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
just wanted to clear that up. She's not a Scientologist. She's not there supporting Scientology. She was only there out of curiosity of what was going to happen in the proceedings. No more, no less.
Yep. I know I said I didn't have
Yeah.
any more. I personally didn't have any more, but there are two questions that came up in chat from other people. So technically I'm not
Hit
lying.
it.
No, you're not scamming the chat. So definitely
Yeah,
you're going
right.
over and beyond. So
Right. So just a couple quick questions. Number one,
Mhm.
has he ever been diagnosed with a speech impediment? He calls it depediment. But has he ever been diagnosed with a speech impediment? For one.
All right, let her answer that before the next one.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. And he went in elementary school to take classes, but my God, my mom needs to get her money back because it did not work. You know what? I
Okay.
should join that because I can do the best, I can say, I can do really good impressions of him. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. So
Oh,
So
you're
you,
more
you
than
need
welcome
your
to give your
theater
best
class.
impression.
have you
Let
ever
me,
been to the public library?
Library.
your what is it? Oh, your golly.
It's not very.
Irrelevant?
Yes.
Relevant? Yes.
Irrelevant.
Oh my God. I love this girl. You are
Yes.
freaking awesome.
Yes.
No, this girl's awesome. I've been talking to her for a minute. She's so
Yeah.
fucking. I love her.
Yeah.
She is
So-
No,
so
my mom needs to
amazing.
get her money back because he went to therapy, but it did not work.
Okay.
He was
And then I promise. Final question for me.
yeah.
From chat, not from me, but from chat. Did did he ever take steroids? And is it a possibility that the steroids may be a cause for some of his behavior today?
I don't know. That one I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
I know
Chad
about
also
other
wanted
drugs. That one I don't know.
Okay.
Chad also wanted to know if he's ever had knee replacement surgery that you know
Oh,
of.
yes, that's the other one. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
He has had knee
Yeah.
replacement. Okay,
It
so
was a
see, Chad, that's
snowboarding
true.
accident.
It's a lot easier, Chad, if
Uh,
you put question in front of so we know. Like Doss just did. Doss has a question. Did he threaten your daughter with bodily harm?
no,
Okay.
but he threatened my husband, and he was
Okay.
harassing us for like, and it was very stressful. It was very scary. I remember, we were driving. It was nighttime. The messages just kept coming. He was just saying the most vile things to my husband, who didn't say anything to him. I was the one that, called him out on some bullshit. And my husband was like vacuuming in another room. All of a sudden, he starts getting all these messages. And that's what happened after the Streets interview, too. Scott messaged me something, I don't know, it's something about like, oh, you're gonna stand with murder or blah blah blah, whatever. I was like, this, because hilarious, right? And then I blocked him immediately because I'm like, I'm not dealing with that. But then he starts out my husband, messaging him, texting him, like, do you know what she said? This and this. This person is like a murderer. This person is you know, all this
He accused
all this
Streets of
bullshit,
being a
whatever.
murderer.
I
He
don't know what
accused
are the
Streets
rumors
of
that he
being
started
murdered.
about someone being a murderer. I don't know, but it was just, and my husband's like, who is this? Don't know this number. And then he's like, it's Scott. And my husband's like, I don't want anything to do with you. He's like, I don't want to know anything about you. He's like, I don't want you to say my name. And again, and for me, I was like, I don't want you to say my name. You keep bringing me up. And I just had to sit there and watch it. And I'm like, now I just, I need to say something. So he never threatened bodily harm, but I'm not going to put my children in front of that man at all.
Okay.
Period.
Now,
Okay.
Chat wants to know also, does he have a history of panic attacks?
Yes.
Probably.
Or are
Yeah.
they fake? So you've witnessed them through growing up? He's had panic attacks?
No.
Oh, no, you've never witnessed that. Now, here's
Never
something that
witnessed it.
a question from me that he is accused that he did work for you guys on your personal properties. I don't know if it's where you currently live or rentals or what the situation was, but after he did all this work and used all of his own money, you guys refused to pay him. Is that true? I'm sorry to make you laugh, but I just want to clear that up.
There's a lot of things that that you would have the answer to.
Yeah, I mean,
we paid him. He did not put sweat equity into it. That's bullshit. Yeah,
okay,
we
so you
hired.
heard that too.
What?
So you heard him claim that as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
I was
okay.
like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? No, we paid him for both jobs. Yeah. And we were like, we'll help you out and stuff. Because whatever, he was back here and but he was living in the van. And I remember on our second property, he had the shit bucket then. So this is also an, character development of him having the shit bucket. But
So you
yeah.
can confirm the shit bucket.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit
Very
bucket
Because
confirmed.
he has admitted to the shit
proud.
bucket, and then
And
he
this
said,
was
"No,
this
it's
was
not
way
true."
before LA too. This
Yeah.
was way before LA.
Chat
Okay, so
Chat has a couple of questions, but I'm going to ask this question a little differently than what was posed in the chat. He
Okay.
has repeatedly called Latinos Chiquinos. Has he shown any racist tendencies growing up that you can remember?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, just
Okay.
he's
Okay.
just fucking awful. Okay,
Okay.
when you go to and I do want to talk on this too. I have to go to the bathroom though.
Well,
I'm just
feel
gonna.
free.
Okay,
Feel
just
free. Feel free.
Yeah,
talk
feel free.
amongst yourselves.
okay, do what you got to do.
Will be back.
No worries.
No
Yeah,
worries.
Okay.
no punishments. But she
Okay.
does have. She said she had a list of things she wanted to talk about too. So I do want to touch on that with her too
Right.
before we all.
Absolutely.
And after that question, there was another question about him being a mathematical prodigy. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
And chat, really listen, because it's hard, and I know chat's flying, and there's a lot of people in here. We'll try to help, because we want to give her the opportunity to say things she has to say. But it really helps Saul if you type the word question in caps before your question, so he can really see it versus having to search for it, because it's hard to go back through chat. So if you can
I'm
just
trying to
make it a
watch
little
this
bit
chat
easier.
and I have chat down here. It's really hard, but I'm trying my best,
Yeah.
guys.
Yes,
I'm trying to help you with that too, because it is
I
hard as well,
appreciate
and I'm
all you.
trying to search through it. So
I did
just
drop MLH. I did drop your link in chat. 'Cause I want to appreciate you for coming up. I'm more of a commentary person and do commentary. Interviews are not my thing, so I
No worries.
appreciate you for you're willing to come up. Same for you, Elliot. You guys are also victims of DOA, and we can all spitball off each other. So I
right,
appreciate you guys.
and I don't want this to be about me or a lot of the other people at this point. I
Right.
really want her, to know that we don't believe these lies, and that we're not here to hurt, but we have been hurt, and there's reasons why we are finding our voice, but we're proud of her. So I don't want to make this about my story or a specific story at this point with her. We need to be kind with her, because this has got to be difficult, guys. It has to be difficult for her. It's her brother, and I can't imagine if it was a family member of mine, and even for her parents. So I'm sure she's willing to do, more questions at another point too, but we don't want to exhaust her as well. So if we don't get to your question, don't take it personally. Saul's doing an amazing job, the best he can.
Here's
Don't take it personally. Please don't. There's just certain things. We're not trying to bombard her with things. She reached out to me, felt comfortable with me. I explained who Ellie, and that's why because people bring me in. I want to come on panel. I promised very select few, and I got permission from her, because we got to remember, she's not a streamer. She's not a YouTuber. She don't know the game. So I wanted her to be comfortable.
And chat, I will be asking if she can come up on the MLH channel for maybe a follow-up interview that I can get more of those questions in. Look, we're all doing the best that we can to answer all the questions that you have,
because this is delicate. And if Saul, if it's okay, if I can ask your chat for when she comes back, if we could show her, if everybody could put some hearts in the chat for her to show support, so she can actually see it live, I think that would be really awesome. If you guys don't mind putting a bunch of hearts in chat so she can see that we do care. We understand that this is not her fault. This is not her parents' fault. And we know that she's also a survivor as well. I think that means a lot. So, and thank you for everybody for doing that. So we can tell her that that's what we're doing. Those hearts in the chat. Okay, so
All right.
you know,
Look at that.
oh, look at your cute kitty.
Kitty,
Um,
kitty, meow.
If you are able to see chat, that's great. If you're not on the replay, that's okay. But if you want to look at chat for a second, you're going to see a bunch of people that put a bunch of hearts in the chat. They're spamming the chat with hearts. That is to show support for you and your family.
Oh, is that the little
So
like comment
yeah,
thingy?
yeah, if you look at the comments, you'll see
Oh,
there's a bunch
comments,
of
okay.
different like pink ones, red ones, blue ones, purple
Cute.
ones. And you can scroll through. That is to show love for you and your
Wow.
family. Nobody is holding you or your family responsible for your brother's behavior.
Yeah.
So it's important that you really know how many people support and understand what you're going through. We really are kind people. We
Mhm.
just got to a position to where, or at least, and I'll speak for myself, being one of his, being a survivor at this point of his from last year's attacks, that we're stronger together, and it needs to be healing because it's not anything we've ever seen or expected in YouTube.
Yeah.
So like I'm watching now, there's 40 more comments and it's all people putting in hearts. So you probably have about 80 people, 90 people, I'm just guessing off the top of my head right now, probably more, that are all spamming hearts for you. And they are strictly for you and your family. So please share that with your parents too. If you do decide to tell them about this, that's on you.
Yeah.
But I want you all to feel that comfort and that love, because we understand how difficult what you're doing right now is. I understand. It was so hard for me that my breakdown was extreme. And I'm not making this about me, but I just want you to know that I feel that pain for you, and I want you to know that there is love out there for you. So those hearts are for you, honey. All of them, all of them.
Yeah.
Now, you had said before there's any more questions that there were things that you wanted to talk about and you wanted to discuss. So before any other questions, we really want to hear what you want to say.
Yes.
Yeah. It was just the again, like, yeah, I really have appreciated this community too, because I was like, I haven't really been able to talk to anyone about it. So I was scared, but I'm like, I need this because, I can't talk to any immediate family, and me and my husband talk about it a lot and everything. But this has just been very, very healing, very kind of fun. Like, because really, it's actually, if you like, at times I'm watching the videos and I'm like, this is just so off the wall, so bizarre, so, of what he's saying and what that it's comical in a, in a tragedy kind of way and everything. But yeah, again, from my family to the survive, like my mom and dad are great. They did the best that they could with the tools that they had. Scott is his own person. He makes his own choices. It does not reflect our family because our family is amazing and perfect. And I'm sorry for all the pain that he kind of like caused all these people and stuff, because it's hard to watch when your brother is like screaming at people and like really like going off on them. So that's hard to see, but yeah. So, and I know he has taken money from people. I know he has taken phones from people. I know that he has conned people in different things, and it's just it's embarrassing. It's hard, but I just think to people who I've connected with on the community and who I've talked to and like reached out to, and it's been really good because you have to be able to get through this and have the community, like you said. Yeah. So
There's there's something very cathartic about, at least from my experience talking to a lot of the survivors, about getting it off your chest, you know.
Yeah.
Before you left, you were going to talk a little bit about the racism angle. I've noticed it not just with Latinos, even though that it really does seem that that's his kind of focus. Did you have anything to add? I know you had to use the restroom and
Yeah.
come back, and was there anything that you wanted to add about that?
No, I mean, he speaks for himself, like, you know, with his actions and with his words, and, you know, I'm the way he treats, I don't know, people. But so what I wanted to, wearing a pink crusader outfit to a protest
Yes.
in Chicago in support of Gaza. Like, there's so many different things but I was like, are you fucking serious? I'm surprised that my Chicago people didn't like beat the shit out of him, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? But yeah, him, and I do want to speak on that. Him coming into Chicago, and going to that protest was like, so he is the definition of an outside agitator, honestly. So I did go to the police station. I showed him, I showed them his name, his photo. Was like, this person is coming in to my city and is going to cause shit on a very important protest when the DNC was happening. And I actually talked to the FBI too. I was like, you got to have a file on this kid. Like, it's just, please be aware that he is here and this is happening. But to see him in that thing, and then so I don't have that live stream. I think I lost it and stuff, but he was on a live stream where he like picked someone up at a gas station.
Mm-hmm.
And they were driving, and the guy was like, oh, my brother's like, I spent time down on the south side, blah, 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 I know this. And he's just like trying to cred. And I was like, dude, you were here helping us fix our house. Like, there's no cred there. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Again, he loves talking out of his ass. But he was talking to the guy, and the guy's like, oh, I live here. And my brother's like, I know where that is. He's like, I live on this street. And my brother's like, oh, so does my sister. And he's like, in this house? And my brother's like, yeah, we have since moved. Okay. Can we just let that sink in? My brother gives very detailed descriptions about where we used to live, our home, and we have since moved. So, yeah, it's scary. But that's what I wanted to say about that and him coming to Chicago. And that's why I always say, I was like, he's not welcome here anymore. I don't want him here. He's a dangerous person, I do believe. Not only him, but the people that follow him and do his bidding. I would like to put that on record, that you are causing people harm and you're doing dangerous things. So I really reconsider what you're doing. And on that.
Yeah. Real quick question from chat that's been in there a long time. Is he a mathematical genius like he claims?
No.
Okay. All right. I knew the answer to that, Kitty.
It took so long to answer that question.
You really wanted the answer on that one.
Well,
he did our electrical, and we had to go back and redo it all because it wasn't right. So I just,
A
I
plus
can,
technician or electrician. Got it.
Did he have formal training on that, or was it just kind of like on the job kind of training on how to do stuff, and
on
that's
the
why
job with
it
my
was on?
dad,
Okay.
who does know electrical and plumbing and is a union painter and has been a hardworking man all of his life. So yes.
Yeah.
I got a question from chat. Will you be coming in going to any other court dates of Scott's? And did he acknowledge you when you were in the courtroom, which I think you said he did?
No, she said he didn't.
Oh, he didn't. Didn't. Excuse me.
Wait, you cut out, Saul. What did you say again?
Oh, will you be coming to any upcoming court dates? And did he acknowledge you the last time you went? And you said, I've just found out no.
No, he didn't acknowledge me. I didn't make eye contact with him, which I kind of regret that. But uh no, I don't think I'll be going to LA again. Unless
You don't think?
something happens with a family member out there. I probably won't be back, but I'll be watching.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe if he's found guilty, sentencing might be an option, but anything beyond that, probably not.
Yeah. I mean, uh, no, I got too much. They're going to be starting school. Like, I got too much stuff going on in here. So
She got her own life to deal with,
I
and
got my
that
own life.
Absolutely.
I got my own life.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am going to ask you another question. This is where I fibbed a little bit. But this is
Yeah,
from
you keep saying
Oh,
that.
it's
Ask as
in
many
a good
questions
way.
as you want. This is a
um,
free for all. Go for it.
well, this is actually just kind of for me. There's way too many questions. They're coming in hot and heavy. Would you be willing to come on to my channel at a later date to answer further questions?
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm pushing it with this one. I'm waiting for his trial date. Yeah.
Okay. You can always email me and then we can
Okay.
go from there. MexicanLonghair@gmail.com.
Well, we'll put it in the back chat after the show.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just going to remember all
We'll
that.
talk afterwards. And then one more chat from chat question. What do you think about the swattings that he went through?
Kind of funny.
Your facial expressions are the best.
Yes.
He is so on point.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Yeah. Found it, I want to say.
Rib guy
Do I
also.
think
I
he
don't know if
did
you know
it?
who
No, I
Hold
don't
on.
think he did it.
Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead. So
I don't think
you
he
don't.
did it. But it doesn't matter because those were hilarious.
I loved his fake panic attacks. One
Yeah.
of the
So
people in
you know
chat,
what? I could
rib guy.
tell. Hold on, real quick. I could tell
Yeah.
that when he was getting arrested at the gas station, uh, for the big one that he got arrested for and stuff, he was scared.
The 16 misdemeanors.
Yeah.
You mean?
When they
Yeah.
came up behind him in the gas station, he got out and he was like, "What?" And he stuttered. He was very scared there, and he knew he was in trouble. I could hear it in his voice. I know that is a trait of our family. If we're in very stressed or traumatic, we will stutter. And so when I watched that video, I was like, wow, he's scared. He's really scared about.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think he's still scared? Because sometimes he acts confident and then sometimes he doesn't.
I
So,
think he's scared. Yeah.
because he's got YouTube attorneys, he's got his legal team on YouTube his chat that helps him with stuff. So,
And in fairness, he does cry a lot. Did he cry a lot, like growing up? Like actually cries,
Yeah. I don't know what that is. Yeah. I mean, I remember he was working at a property and we didn't give enough thanks. I don't know. And my husband still talks about it to this day, that he just really kind of came unglued.
Yeah.
I was there, and my
Because you didn't
husband,
show him enough appreciation?
yeah, or my dad appreciation. My husband was like, I don't really know what the issue was. It was just, again, from 0 to 100, like, you know, that my brother-in-law wasn't doing enough. I don't know, but he was sitting there crying, and I came in and I was like trying to comfort him. My husband came in and he was like, my husband's very even, like a very calm, very even keeled person and everything.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's funny. I think I showed Streets the text between him and my brother when he was like harassing us on the ride home from the West Coast. And my husband was just like, oh, you sound angry. Like, what's going on? And my brother and Scott would say something vicious. And he was like, oh, we could talk about this. Or like, he was just very cool headed against my brother's attacks and everything. I do have those. I do. I think I sent them to you, Saul, didn't I?
I'm
What
sure you do, but
the
Scott has
pictures?
showed them, and he has obviously in the appearance through following the conversation. It looks a little different than what you're describing, so I think that his receipts are a little bit different
Yeah.
because some things have been deleted out of that, where he was calling you names and things like that.
Or maybe
So
altered. Yeah.
his chat does not believe that he called you any names or yelled or screamed at you
Yeah.
because they are not in the texts in which your brother shared.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Was it between him and my husband though? I wasn't on that. Again, I like blocked him as soon as he
Yes,
texted me.
Yes.
between you and your husband.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, he's not calling my husband a dumb bitch, but I don't know.
I just thought it was a really cute comment here from Sakura Kitsune, who said Kitty looks like Betty Boop. So I just thought you'd like to hear that.
Aw, that's a cute one.
Yeah. Yeah.
6.
All right.
My buddy Rib Guy in chat, he wants to know if you would be upset with him if he helped put Scott in prison.
If he what?
Help put Scott in prison.
No, again, circumstancing, like, that's going to be the best place for him now.
I just
support
felt
it.
like he really wanted to know.
I support it. I think he has done enough damage that he should not be able to roam free.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. What would you think is a fair sentence for him, Kitty? Like it, knowing just the charges that are out there now, and there's been rumored other charges coming. What do you think a fair sentence would be for him?
I follow a lot of like the true crime and the podcast, and he is a predator. And again, I don't know, the judge was like double digits. And, I think what he did, like, because he's making it out to be this huge crusade of like, oh man, I'm going to be like, the people on climbing the trees in California trying to save the redwoods, or like the boats in like the Antarctica trying to save the seals. And I was like, dude, you took down planners. Like, that in itself is not, but A, you recorded yourself. B, you are specifically targeting a religious group.
Mhm.
Like, that is a hate crime. Like,
Under the definition of the law. Yeah.
you could spin it, you could talk, you can do whatever you want and everything, but you are targeted against a specific religious group intending harm. Like, And
Whether you
recorded
like the
yourself.
group or not, you don't have
What?
to agree whether you like the group or not.
Whether
I
you
mean,
like,
most of us
I'm
believe
not.
that it is a cult, but at the end of the
Yes.
day, you can pray to, like the way I use the analogy, if you want to become a pastafarian and pray to the macaroni noodles or the baked ziti noodles, then so be it, as long as you're not hurting somebody
Yeah.
type thing.
Yeah.
But under the definition of the law in California, when you attack somebody in a protected class, and you record yourself doing it and state that it's because they are Scientologists. That's why the hate crime was added to the vandalism charges.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Kim has a good question here. Can you
Oh.
please, she says, can you please ask her about his longtime friend, Kelly, and was she his babysitter at any time?
Does she come on chat?
No, there was someone that was in chat that was asking that.
Okay.
That was Kim's question.
Yes, she was our babysitter. She was a neighbor.
All right. All right. There you go.
The grand.
Saul, that's all I have. Truly, hey,
Did she have a
Kitty,
relationship with him? Is that
well,
what
I
you
think that's what
understand?
they're getting at. Yes.
that's
Oh.
kind of what they're getting at.
You don't have to answer. Remember, if you're not ever comfortable, don't feel free
Just
to.
She's already nodding her head.
just look at her. You can tell. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Oh, yeah.
Look, before I
Is
get
it
off
bizarre? Yes.
before I get off the air, Kitty, first of all, I want to say my condolences to your family for everything that you guys have been through all of this. We are having a Survivor Week next week. You're more than welcome to just even hang out and chat. You're obviously welcome to come up on panel anytime. You're obviously, I mean, I would love to interview you. I've interviewed tons of people over the years. Ellie can attest to that. I think Saul can attest to that as well. By the way, Saul, you kind of look like Adam Sandler for some reason. I mean,
I get that, or I get Top Gun, and I hate to say it, Tom Cruise.
no, no, Tom.
Really, in this chat, Saul? Seriously.
I've gotten
know
that
what we're
before
doing
in
here.
But yes, thank you for taking my questions, Kitty. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. Yeah, I will put in the back chat my email address. You can feel free to email me at any time. I would definitely love to do another follow-up interview because I'm trying to do the best I can to you know look at all the questions and ask, change some of the questions because some of the questions were not worded how I would ask them. So I would really love to have you on. So I would hope that you would
But that's in your time. There's no rush. Somebody
no rush.
else had a question in chat too. Is, do you think that your brother really believes in all the things that he says?
I can't speak. I don't know what he believes.
That's
Not
fair.
him. Yeah.
That's
In
fair.
my view of it, though, in just my personal opinion, no legal stance or anything, but no, I think he just gloms onto things, especially with the Scientology and all that. It was just so out of left field. He was doing this stuff in Washington D.C. I was like, okay, I kind of saw a couple things from that, and I was like, okay, I'm done with that. And then him showing up in LA and talking to Streets, and Streets was like, hey, I was trying to start this protest, and it was going good, and your brother came in and destroyed it. And I was like, I think that's how we connected on it, because I was like, yeah, no, I understand that and everything, but then to disregard the people who went through Scientology, and then to disregard them and harass them and talk shit about them. I mean, I also was in a cult for, you know, in my 20s and everything. So I was like, I got out of it and stuff. And my beliefs have changed. And I think that's healthy. And, you know, I saw some, you know, but to talk to people, to talk to survivors who went through that and were able to get out of it. Like, do you know how strong you have to be as a person to get out of a cult? Especially, I was only in it for like 4 years. These are people who grew up in it and the mind control and like all this stuff and everything. To be able to have something within yourself to be able to get out of that. And then you have this buffoon come in and be like, you're stupid. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, and he's coming from nowhere. Like, that's just so disrespectful. That is so incomprehensible to me that he would do that. I think that's my, with everything that went on, um, that's the thing that pissed me off the most. Once I saw him being like, this person's not a victim. This person doesn't know what they're talking about. This person wasn't a victim of sexual assault. Like, I know that, like, who the fuck are you, dude? Like, you know, so, yeah. Does he believe it? I don't think so. Like, I think he's just trying to rile people up, and it's so for views, and it's, I don't know.
Okay, some people in chat are also asking if, you know, from the time, obviously, that you would have known the people that he has dated, if those women had issues in relationships with him in which they might have ended poorly or, you know, maybe have been
Most of
difficult or
them.
challenging
Yeah.
at that time.
Most of them.
Okay. So his history isn't great with that. Okay. That's
Yes.
the best way I could ask that question. I'm trying to rephrase some things because I do want to be delicate and, you know, but they're curious about that.
No, like, someone close in the family was saying he is incapable of like keeping and maintain a relationship, whether that's with women, whether that's with friends or a community. That's why he's moving around all the time. You know, think about it. If you keep moving, people don't know who you are. So
You get a new group of collective around you.
you
So
could
you
be
get a
whoever
new.
you say you want to be. Your
Mhm.
Oh,
true
you
self
think
will
that's
come
why
out
he moves?
eventually. But yeah,
That's interesting.
if you continue to look at his character and the history, he just bounces from group to group, and he has lost relationships for years and stuff because he can't maintain a relationship. Like, that's, you know, whether with a woman or with friends or community.
So he doesn't have a lot of connections from childhood friends or, you know, early 20s and things like that, that he
No, he
is still.
burned all those bridges.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he got the restraint. There was in Florida, it was people that he grew up with that he had the assault and battery charges that he was charged with. And then guys from the neighborhood, they're like, we're not friends with your brother. And I was like, I could see that.
Okay.
Mhm.
So it's a pattern that you're seeing overall.
Yeah.
Okay.
His whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
we talk about patterns quite often. They're pretty noticeable if you can take a macro view of things. And what drives me crazy about the people that say, "Oh, we tried to warn you. I told you so." We can't vet everybody, that comes
Yeah.
into a community, but hindsight's always 2020. But if you really do take a macro view, you can spot those patterns a mile away. It's pretty striking.
But you have to have that macro view. You have to
Yeah.
have known someone for now, you know, 40 years that we grew up together and stuff, and being like, oh, this is a pattern. Let me tell you this. But again, he kept moving around that what con men often do, if you listen to a lot of like, if you listen to the story of the con men, they always move around. They're moving all the time because if one group figures you out, you just move to the next one. And now you're a brand new person and no one knows who you are. So,
But he does have a certain following that follows from each of those, which is why when people, in fairness, there were people that tried to warn us when he came into this. But I think the reason why, or at least for me anyway, and other people that I speak to, is we try to give people the benefit of the doubt. And there are trolls, and we don't know, like, they would come in and warn, but there wouldn't be facts or things on their videos, in fairness. And like you said earlier, sometimes you have to learn the hard way, which obviously we did.
yeah.
And he would say they're trolls, or it's the same person that has these alt accounts, and we didn't know them. And in channels that I modded for, I would click and didn't see anything on their videos. I'm sorry now that I didn't do more investigation, but do promise going forward to do what we can for the next community, to help them if there be such a community. Hopefully there's not, and he gets the help that he needs, through jail or prison or whatever the justice system decides to do, that he doesn't continue to do that. But I think that's why a lot of us, because he was, in the beginning, it was entertaining.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was in the beginning.
here's
We
this
all
guy
fell for
that,
it.
he wears these funky costumes, which I kind of thought were a little odd, walking around on, Hollywood Boulevard without any shoes. I was like, ugh. But, he would make some comedic jokes. It's not that your brother's not funny at times. There is.
Yeah.
But it came to the point when we realized, who he really was and what the intentions are, that he says a professional protester. I say a professional provocateur, to go in to kind of destroy whatever the majority is for no other purpose. I mean, I don't know if you saw the bit about the guy who he calls the Scream with the fake knife, and,
God, yeah.
then when he was
Oh
running
my
away,
God.
Ran
poor
over a
Flat and
lady.
Susan. Yeah, he ran over a lady. We named her Flat and Susan. Rest in
Oh,
peace. That poor lady.
we need to get her medical bills paid, y'all.
Yeah, there were hearts and prayers for Flat and Susan in there. But it was kind of like what was the purpose of doing that? So like going forward, I think that those are key videos and why people are recording them. So we have that, and why people like Doss and Riddle are important, and Dead Ann are important, and Hellgear and Never Inanimate. And there's so many now that are starting to really clip, so we can save those to have that evidence to show that, listen, we're not trying to be mean, but we're trying to save people going forward.
Yeah.
And
Because
I think
that
that's
man
why
in the
so many were
mask,
gullible.
he was a
Go
young
ahead.
black man, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yes, he was.
You have a big white man pointing a finger at a young black guy, saying that he, with no evidence if that knife was real or not, or whatever was going on and stuff. And my brother
That can incite a riot.
following him around, harassing him, and then getting into people's face and being like, "This guy's a provocateur, like this guy's it," and stuff. Like, again, I
And
said
they
this.
told him it was plastic.
Yeah, but again, I said this. Like, that's such like, living here in this, like, to Scott, it's just words. To that man, that could be his life. Like,
But
there's no
that's something Scott
consideration.
doesn't do, is think ahead. He reacts on what is good content, or he can make content of, and he don't care the outcome. He doesn't think about the end, what's going to happen to him, or what could happen to this individual.
It's not what. Yeah, it's what could happen to these other people around him that he is. He is like, accusing of and stuff. Like, again, I said this. I was like, this is the biggest white boy privilege that I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Because I was like, I see him going after the cops and shit that he says to people on the streets. And I was like, if you were again, I'm going to state this, if you were any other color, skin, you would be already in jail or shot. Like, that enrages me that he's in these cops' faces or people's faces and screaming at them. And I was like, man, like, my God. And then you're going to accuse a young black guy that he has like a knife, but not really, but it's plastic. Like, and he's just there, like, it's just so, that's like, that's racism in its peak, that he is a white boy, that he thinks he could say and do whatever he wants and get away with it. Like, it's very sickening for me to see that, living in the south side of Chicago and seeing what I see. And yeah, so it's,
Well, you do have a lot of people behind you. Just know that, like, you saw the hearts in chat earlier. You've had up to like 300 people watching you tonight just to hear what you had to say, just to hear you speak. And that is amazing. And you do have a voice, and a very important one. People have been wanting to hear from you for a long time. And, I appreciate the friendship we have. And I know some people in your area who were also survivors of Scott. And if I get permission, I would love to connect you guys, because I think you all would get along and have a great old time. But
sure.
And if I can ask just one more question, final question.
Of course.
Your brother has always made statements that through growing up, he's always had a lot of friends that were Black or part of the LGBTQ, and that he's always been friendly with the LGBTQ. And some people think that it's just a gimmick, that he wears the rainbow thing and that he doesn't. It's kind of like a mockery. Do you know what his feelings are on the LGBTQ community and that supporting? And growing up, did he more gear towards people who were, not Caucasian? Because he has made the comment that he actually hates white people.
Her reactions are great.
Sorry, it's too much. Again, I can't 100% comment on that because I'm not him. But again, from actions and words that someone says, you can kind of gauge of where they're going. And no, didn't he say he's like, I don't like working with white people or something? I don't know.
No, he actually said on Bosses, when he did the interview before, that he hated white people. He literally said that he hated white people. But through time, he's always said that he's always been a big fan. And growing up, he's always supported the LGBTQ community, which is why I'm curious if that's true. And he really had a lot of people that were in that community and always defended them, kind of thing. No. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was my final question, because I don't want to take up any more.
I got one question just came up. One question just came up that I do see in chat that I hate to bombard you with so many questions, but people want to know, would you be okay with Streets re-releasing that live stream now?
Yeah, I told him, and I get it. Like, I was flip-flopping. I talked to him. It was a really good interview. I really liked him. It was, and then the next day I was like, let's go through edits and everything. But then, really honestly, like, my husband came home. He's like, what's going on? Again, he didn't have no idea. My mom was calling, was like, your brother's calling me. He's having a nervous breakdown. What are you doing? Oh my gosh. And I was like, what? And so I had to call him back up and be like, I can't do it. Then to come find out that I looked at my husband's messages and I was like, oh man, he's just talking shit. Like, he just, again, like, was trying to scare me. And so I'm like, hey, Streets, like, release the thing. And he's like, I didn't really hear back from him, which I get it. He's like, back and forth, that's hard. But I think I just said everything that I had in the interview with him. So he doesn't have to. It's his thing, I think he is back on focusing just on Scientology and like dropping the drama of my brother, which good on him, you know. But no, I think I said everything that I said in the interview with him, so it'll just be
You
like a
pretty you pretty much said everything between Boss Talks and here then.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, you know, I only promised her for 2 hours, guys, so we're kind
Yeah.
of scamming her time now at this point. So I don't want to keep anyone here longer than they don't want to. So I do want to kind of say I appreciate your time, Kitty. You can call me afterwards and we can talk if you want, and we'll talk privately. MLH, again, I appreciate you having you up. We'll definitely go ahead and drop your link a couple more times before I'm out of here. Ellie, much love.
Thank you.
You're the best. I'm gonna, guys, put you in the back and you guys can leave, and I'm gonna finish this out for with everybody else. Okay?
Yeah. Don't disappear yet, because I want to talk to her behind stage for
Yeah.
a second.
Okay. I'm gonna put you in the back, and I'll
Yep.
bring you back up once I end the live.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Thank you
Awesome.
to everyone. Good luck. Good night. Treat each other kindly.
Yeah.
Get everybody off. Okay, guys, I got everyone off. I want to appreciate everyone who asked a question. I know we didn't get to them all. We had to do a little bit of extra. We went a little overtime. Like I said, I only promised 2 hours, and we're now on 5 hours over. I don't know if anyone's live. If you guys, I think Kenny's probably redirecting this. So if someone could drop Kenny's link for me to his live, that would be great. Because you know we're all about it. We're going about this whole bullshit and covering him as much as we all can. Again, big thanks to Kitty and thanks, Scott. Yeah, this message is directly. I don't hate you. I really dislike you. Behavior would change. Hope you understand the pain you have caused not only your family, but many of people on YouTube that have met you or have had contact with you. Hell, I mean, haven't even met you. I want you to learn, take accountability, and maybe one day you can become that professional streamer. But until then, take accountability for your mistakes, be an adult, and apologize to the people you've hurt. I would say individually, but the list is pretty long. I would just try to start with the top 10 and take it from there and hope that you get the support you had once again. I will help you if you do the right thing. Otherwise, we'll be keeping you all the time. Anyways, I'm going to end this live. Thank you all for coming in. Got my lick, motherfucker.